Hey everybody, this is Bob, once again standing in for TGR, and I want to go over the new, pretty massive Black Ops 7 Zombies launch blog that was just released by Treyarch. The first section of the blog gives us some more lore details with regards to the POIs in Ashes of the Damned, which we will make a video in the future going into more detail on, but I want to talk about now as well. The first POI talked about is probably the most familiar to most of you, the Janus Towers Plaza, a research stronghold in Liberty Falls, built in 1989, that arrived in the Dark Ether in 1991, most likely as a result of the events of Reckoning in Black Ops 6. The next one, which we've all probably played a bunch of in the beta, is the Van Dorn Farm, a rural farm settlement built in 1920 that arrived in the Dark Ether in 1986. The next one is Blackwater Lake, a cabin by a frozen lake, built in 1940, and arrived in the Dark Ether in the 1950s. The next one given is Ashwood, a frontier town built in 1820 that arrived in the Dark Ether in 1865. Now, this one's pretty interesting to me because 1865 is when the American Civil War ended, and as we know from prior games, those sorts of conflicts do weaken the veil between Earth and the Dark Ether. As well, it's interesting to note that a lot of the iconography on the outfit of the mysterious antagonist of Black Ops 7 Zombies does resemble Civil War era attire. Next, we have Exit 115, a roadside stop built between 1950 and 1980, that arrived in the Dark Ether in 1989. Finally, to round off the main POIs, we have the Zarya Cosmodrome, a Soviet-era launch facility built in 1960 that arrived in the Dark Ether in 1968. There's also a small segment talking about the Fog, which states, "Beware of the Fog. Dangerous thoroughfares with hidden horrors shrouded in the mist," which is pretty vague, but we're also given some pictures of some areas from the fog areas of the map. This first segment is followed up with another confirmation that the main quest in Ashes of the Damned will become available at 10 AM Pacific time on Friday, November 14th. Pretty useful for E-Strike hunters, although not super new information. The next segment is with regards to loadouts in Black Ops 7, which we're all probably familiar with the mechanics of, although this section does confirm that there will be 30 weapons at launch, 28 ranged weapons, and 2 melee weapons, and that Black Ops 7 content will be integrated into Warzone at Season 1 later this year. We're then given an explanation of player levels and what sort of zombies equipment will unlock at what levels. This segment is pretty basic and familiar if you've played a lot of Black Ops 6, as I'm sure most of you have, but one thing I find interesting to note is that Augment Research, as opposed to being a default feature as it was in Black Ops 6, is now a level 11 unlock feature. Let us know in the comments what you think of this change. We're then given a segment listing lethals, tacticals, and score streak equipment in Black Ops 7, which a lot of it is the same as what was available in Black Ops 6, although there are a couple new things here that are pretty interesting. The next section goes into a bit more detail regarding the augment system, and the changes from Black Ops 6. Namely, as previously stated, it is confirmed that you will have to reach level 11 to unlock Augment Research in Black Ops 7. While all of your previously unlocked Black Ops 6 augments for field upgrades, perks, and ammo mods will be usable at launch through carry forward, you'll have to reach level 11 in order to research any new augments in this game. We're then given a list of the Perk-a-Colas in this game, which is mainly the ones that were in Black Ops 6, as well as the new Wisp Tea perk, as well as the research unlock criteria for augments for all of the perks. This section is followed up with a section regarding new and returning ammo mods in Black Ops 7 Zombies, of which will include Fireworks, Brain Rot, Napalm Burst, Shadow Rift, Deadwire, and Cryo Freeze at launch, with Fireworks being the newest one. You'll probably recognize, albeit it's been reworked since, from Black Ops 3. Included in this segment is both necessary criteria to unlock each ammo mod in gameplay, as well as the necessary criteria to unlock Augment Research for each one, once the Augment Research feature itself is unlocked. This is then followed up with a similar field upgrade section, with the starting field upgrades at launch being the new Toxic Growth, as well as Dark Flare, Healing Aura, Frenzied Guard, Energy Mine, and Ether Shroud. The next section of the blog is in regards to gobblegums, which mostly work about 80% the same as they did in Black Ops 6, and your Black Ops 6 gobblegums can be used in Black Ops 7 through carry forward. There is also an included list of gobblegum that will be available in the game, their effects, as well as their effects in Dead Ops Arcade 4, which in a series first will include gobblegum support. But for the sake of time, I'll primarily be talking about the newly added gobblegums in Black Ops 7. To start with, we have Aftertaste, a new rare gobblegum. This one is conditional and activates on revive, and its effect, as you might expect, lets you keep all your perks after being revived. In Dead Ops Arcade 4, it lets you keep your shields and chickens when you die. Next up, we have Requipment, a new epic gobblegum. This one's timed and lasts for 5 minutes, and makes it so that your equipment slots refill over time over this 5-minute period. In Dead Ops Arcade 4, you gain a random combination of 4 nukes and boosts. Next, we have Power Vacuum, another new epic gobblegum. This one's timed and lasts for 5 minutes as well, and causes kills to have a higher chance of spawning power-ups in round-based, and causes enemies who you kill to have a slight chance to spawn useful items in Dead Ops Arcade. Next, we have Round Off, a new legendary gobblegum. This one's conditional and activates on round transition, and when you activate it, rounds are prevented from advancing, with it lasting 2 rounds. In Dead Ops Arcade, this gobblegum ends the currently active round, but the round must be under 60. It has a 30-minute global cooldown as well in this mode. The next one is Armorgeddon, a new legendary gobblegum. This one's instant, and instantly gives you a 3-plate armor vest and full plates in round-based, and you receive a 1-plate armor vest if you don't have one and get full plates in Dead Ops Arcade. The next one, a new ultra gobblegum as seen in the beta, is Gift Card, an instant gobblegum that gives you 30,000 essence or $30,000 to spend in the new Slayer Mart system in Dead Ops Arcade. The next section talks a bit about the game modes that will be available at launch, namely Standard, Directed Mode, Survival Mode, and Cursed Mode. As the newest and most mysterious addition in this list is Cursed Mode, there's also a section talking more in depth about what exactly Cursed Mode is. The first major feature of Cursed Mode is relics, of which there are 9 across Ashes of a Damned. Interesting to note, this wording to me at least does imply that they could perhaps add more relics in future maps. Now, relics themselves are, as the block states, significant debuffs to increase the challenge in a Cursed match. Relics also tie pretty heavily into the new tier system in Cursed Mode. Now, how this system works is, essentially, you have 3 tiers, according to the blog. And you have a tier bar that increases from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 with the more potent relics you add to it. The blog also states that there will be rewards for those who complete Ashes of the Damned in Cursed tier 1, 2, and 3 modes. For those interested, and for those familiar with the fabled classic mode rumors from a while back, we will also be working on a video in the future in which we attempt to create a classic zombies mode using augments and curse mode. The game's launch wonder weapons are also shown, which are not much new as we're pretty familiar with the ray gun and the ray gun Mark II already, as well as the necrofluid gauntlet, which has been shown off a bit so far, but is the map-specific wonder weapon for Ashes of the Damned. The next section talks about HUD customization, which we've talked about a bit, and everybody's pretty familiar with it at this point. Although one thing I do find interesting is that they seem to confirm that objective markers will be able to be disabled in Black Ops 7, as I do recall a lot of people complaining about the inability to completely disable them in Black Ops 6. The next section talks about zombies intel. Now, there's not really much to say here. The menu does seem pretty similar to Black Ops 6's, albeit redesigned a bit. Something that is reiterated here that was stated in prior dev talks, though, is that you will be more able to inspect intel in this game compared to Black Ops 6, which is good as a big fan of Black Ops Cold War's intel system. Mechanically, not much to say here, but I do hope they take some criticisms of Black Ops 6's intel system and intel contained in it into account for this game. The final section is in regards to Dead Ops Arcade 4, which, compared to the rest of the Zombies mode, has been kept somewhat more mysterious since its announcement. To start with, the blog explains the 2 primary modes in Dead Ops Arcade 4. Casual mode. Venture forth to topple the Silverback clan and win back Fidelina's heart. The trail runs short, but no less savage. Are you chicken enough? Top-down and first-person perspectives are available from the start of the match. Normal mode is described pretty similarly, although it is important to note that they state that the trail is long, lethal, and unforgiving comparatively. It's also stated that top-down perspective will be the primary perspective of normal mode, with first-person viewpoint being an unlockable feature as opposed to a default option as it is in casual. Going into more detail, Dead Ops Arcade is said to have 80 levels and more than 20 arenas in this iteration, as well as new weapons such as the Wunderwaffe DG2 and the Jet Gun, alongside vehicles, bonus rooms, Silverback challenges, and Slayer maps, which seem like interesting new features to me, as well as the aforementioned in the Gobblegums section, Slayer Mart Hub, which allows players to buy from over 70 upgrades. Interestingly, this version of Dead Ops Arcade fully embraces round-based zombies mechanics and features ammo mods, field upgrades, and Gobblegums, as well as shared progression with the other modes. Of course, you can expect much more coverage of Dead Ops Arcade 4, as well as the rest of Black Ops 7 Zombies from us on November 14th when the game launches. Let us know in the comments what you think of this blog and Black Ops 7 as a whole, and thanks for watching.
To conclude this video, I want to shout out the fact that I finally decided to make a Patreon and Cameo account, both of which will be linked below if you want to help support the channel. On Patreon, you can sign up for the lowest tier of just $1.50 a month to get exclusive access for my Discord, where we can discuss zombies lore, trivia, or whatever you desire. A place where you lot, my community, can better connect. Your names will also appear at the end of videos thanking you. For $5.50 a month, you get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive monthly Q&As. And for $16.50 a month, you again get all of that, and I will be doing exclusive lore videos, such as unpacking niche parts of the Treyarch documents I've been breaking down on my channel that don't as much suit a main channel video. For the highest tier, only for those with the ability to and who really want to help out the channel, you get special bonuses I've yet to determine and verbal shoutouts at the end of every video. Over on Cameo, I can do funny videos reading lines from zombies, memes like how do we tell him, birthday wishes for friends or family, or whatever else you desire, practically anything. Of course, none of this is necessary, just watching and enjoying the videos helps me immensely and I greatly appreciate it. However, I think it's about time I start setting up additional revenue streams because Zombies' popularity is tumultuous and always goes through ups and downs. As I'm sure you've lately seen on the channel, viewership is down a lot. We go through big highs when new games release, but then during these drought periods, I need more income stability so I don't have to worry as much about it and I can focus more on improving the quality of the content. My highest quality videos are not always the ones that best please YouTube algorithms, so instead, this way I can produce my best work knowing I don't have to think as much about how well the content's going to perform. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon for exclusive content or would like a simple Cameo message, you can do so to further support me via the links below, but only if you can afford it and you actually want to help me. Don't feel like you are forced to, don't worry, I'll survive. It would just help relieve some of the pressure during inconsistent periods on the channel so I don't have to solely rely on AdSense revenue and still maintain the sheer quantity and quality of content that I put out. Obviously I pump out literally a boatload of content and some of these are absolutely crazy projects over hour-long videos, so it's a lot on my plate, especially when these videos don't perform particularly well. And I've not been doing many sponsorships lately to help supplement revenue either, so it would greatly help. Thank you for any generous person once again who does kindly support the channel. It means the absolute world and will really help keep this boat afloat.